Bingo introduces Live Football Bingo, where events in every English Premier League game can win you prizes for a £1 card. And the fastest full house of the season is worth £20,000. Head to matchbingo.co.uk for more information. Over 18s only. Be gamble aware. Get yourself over to matchbingo.co.uk for more information. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and I am so tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try and pretend. I'm so tired, but I'm so excited and so happy because last night I made the last minute decision, and it was last minute, about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I decided I was going to go to Barnsley and I was going to watch our beautiful, mighty fine football team. See if we could get ourselves towards that line, and I'm so glad I did. I turned up. I was wearing my bird room coat still, which is as dirty as it comes. I was freezing cold, but I had a thoroughly enjoyable time. So thank you very much for getting me there, Mr. Matty S, with the £20 donation on Sunday. But what a night! I'm so excited, but I'm now so very tired. And as the Match Bingo promotion there said, I think George, who obviously is a part of Match Bingo, said on Monday's show, the free bingos ends, I think, either this weekend or next weekend. So click the link in the description. Free to play. Over 18s, be gamble aware. Ashley Anton, I only got back from Barnsley a few hours ago. Ashley, where'd you go? Did you get lost? Still buzzing. Bring on the celebration Saturday. Moby, 22 away games ticked off. Phil's at the Leicester Nuneaton Borough semi-final. Have fun. I've already dropped the link if you want to get involved and have your say. I know we couldn't do that last night because I was travelling back from Barnsley. And George and Richard Chandler and Matt did a fantastic show. But there's a link now if you do want to get involved. Evening from Robert Holmes. Still buzzing from last night. Cannot wait for Saturday. It's going to be emotional. I think we'll all be looking at the sky at some point. Hopefully be looking at the sky at some point. Yeah. Cheers for that. Don't start me already. Blaze Dog, I've watched the highlights over and over from last night. Not going to be able to sleep now from Saturday. I'm telling you, I got in at 2. I got in at 2, gone 2, 2:15. First thing I did was stick the highlights on. Buzzing. And I do love the away section's reaction to Nathan Broadhead's first goal. It did feel really eerie and real time being there because they're running away and we're all. Did he score? Has he scored? Oh, he scored. Cue pandemonium. We honestly couldn't see it from the away section. We did, however, see George Hurst's goal, and I've watched that back. I don't know, about 4,000 times, I think. Rob, thanks to all the fans that actually went as you become part of the iFollow's proud parent moment. You were part of the brilliant production. 83 there last night. Going to Fleetwood? No, I'm not going to Fleetwood. I'm drawing the line. Then again, if Plymouth lose and we no, don't do it to yourself, Martin. Don't do it. Right, I need plenty of energy on tonight's show, so hit the link, get active in the live chat. But I've got 2 of the finest people joining me on the show this evening. 2 of them more energetic, 2 of them more pull the strings in the midfield combination, because I'm just going to do a Jonathan Douglas and sort of just drift. The Milk Tray Man, Ben Adams.
You know when you're going to go break up from a girlfriend, right?
Adrift tonight, Ben, because I'm so tired, man. But I'm so happy. How are you? Like, you texted me last night and you said, is this actually happening? And it was actually happening.
Yeah, I think I've when I stopped being able to easily name a man of the match is when I think it all started turning around for us, and it doesn't really get any better than this. I mean, I'm hoping it will just one more notch on Saturday, obviously, but I'm just kind of still sitting here in disbelief, really. I can't believe it's kind of our turn. It's like when you queue up for a ride for hours and you're like, you're one away from getting on the roller coaster, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it's me next. It's like, I wouldn't say it's been worth 20 years of pain, but it sure feels like it.
Certainly 4 years of pain, 20 years of poorness, but 4 years of overstaying our welcome in League One. That is for sure. Jody says it wasn't as obvious on iFollow either that the first goal went in. Was it obvious for you from the first goal? Because for us in the away section, we were a good 5 second, 10 second time delay.
What, the goal?
Yeah, the first goal. The
Yeah,
broadhead
I didn't know it got in because there was like a 2-second delay from the crowd. Broadhead is already 10 yards away from the box before the crowd started cheering, which just goes to show you how well, firstly, how quick Broadhead is and how subtle the goal was. But I watched that thing Ipswich do, is it Ipswich Town in 5, where they give that kind of alternative view. And when you see it from the camera behind the goal, it's just this lovely kind of thick heading. And it's a really beautiful goal. It gives Leif Davis another assist. I mean, he's got to be one of the top ones in the country now, isn't he?
Got 2 last night.
And, yeah, we did. I know. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yes, of course you did. So it's just, what is my old adage? Give me the players that make the other ones look even better, and they're just all doing it for one another. We were discussing last night because I watched it with all my family, and we were thinking, what is the weak area of the pitch? And we really struggled to name one. Like, I don't think there is one. You could argue possibly at right back, as much as I love, our new right back, he's been phenomenal. But I think maybe because of the depth there. But apart from that, I just can't name a weak area on that pitch anywhere. And I cannot remember the last time I said that. Probably 2002, 2001. It's brilliant.
He was awesome last night, though, Harry Clark. I know you're saying for depth reasons. There's not anybody really behind him who was. But last night, Harry Clark for me was absolutely awesome.
Yes, he was. I mean, for me, that's a. How old is he?
Oh, great question. Give me a minute, and I'll give you the answer.
He's younger.
Say 24, but
yeah, 22.
22.
22. So you look at him, and I thought, he's got to be 28, 29. A seasoned professional. The way he carries himself, he looks like a German U-boat captain. I mean, the guy is hard, and you're thinking, my God, he's a kid. That right there is your future captain. And I did 100%. For a long time think it might be Wolfenden, but you look at him. That's your captain. If anything ever happens to Morsey, without any questions at all, he's so good off the ball as well. You look at him command his back line, and he's always talking to those around him. It's just brilliant, just brilliant.
It really was. Right, here is your league table following last night's antics. The game in hand has been played, and it has gone in our favour, ladies and gentlemen. Plymouth and Ipswich both played 44. Plymouth are top with 95. We are second with 94. Wednesday are in third and played 44, 90 points. There is now a 4-point gap. In case you've not looked at this league table 400 times today, Town fans, there is now a 4-point gap and a 20-goal differential between us and the team that are more associated with Crumble than anything else these days.
That's worth a point right there, isn't it? Yeah, it's just,
it is. Yeah. And obviously, this coming up this weekend.
That is incredible, and look, it's because we've all been through so much damn trauma over the years. I want that to be a 6-point gap or a 7-point gap. And there was at one point at the top of the table when Sheffield Wednesday were looking at it, thinking, "Well, we've done it." So, although part of me doesn't want to get too complacent, do you know what? I've kind of let the reins off a bit. I'm kind of thinking we've done it. And
I'll tell you what, Ben. If we don't get nothing from Fleetwood and Exeter, we don't deserve to go up.
I agree. If it would be the most spectacular collapse of a promotion season that's ever been witnessed in world football, if you can't get a point, well, we need 2 points, don't you, really? But if you can't get a win from either of those two games, I not only think we're going to win on Saturday, I think we're going to win hard. I really do. It's a dead rubber for them. They've got nothing to play for.
Oh, I like that.
People are planning parties on Saturday. I think the atmosphere is going to be one of the greatest days. That let's not forget that a whole probably 2 generations of people have never seen before, really, with where this club is and what it's doing. We had the kind of anomaly season in 2015, of course, and that was great. But the whole direction of the club, the ambition and the energy, the position we're in, the almost guarantee of championship football. Don't forget, there's probably 8,000 people there that have never seen anything like it. We're old enough. We're probably just about the generation where we remember that happening. But this is brand new to so many people who are going to be there. And I love the fact that they're going to see it for the first time. I mean, that for me is special. That's how you get. They got the kids in, and then they sold them something amazing, and that's how you grab a generation. You get them through the door, and you wow them, and that's exactly what we've done this season.
Absolutely, yeah. No truer words, and I would just say soak it in. I know it's going to come up this evening. The whole something invasion. We'll come to it, I'm sure, when Rich gets in just a memento. But soak it in, take it in, enjoy it. We were talking only 7-10 days ago on the platform about how many promotions we actually see in our lifetime. And Colin, who's obviously the longest fan, we know. I think he saw. I'm going to say 3, but it could have possibly been 4 promotions, which you think about in his lifetime.
Division 1 in
Thank you,
92, 2000, and
so he's seen 4. That's that is such a little amount. So really enjoy this moment that could potentially be coming up. It's not done yet. It's not dusted. Exeter, despite losing every game in the last 5, 5 big red L's looking at me when I did their form guide this afternoon. I got
it's got 0-0 written all over it, isn't it? But then again, you know what? They said that last night. 2 massive titans of the league who have done incredibly well.
Yeah,
had a 0-0 written all over it. But I proposed on my last pod here that by the end of the Barnsley game, you will know where we stand. And I would say that to be true. These 2 last games, we were hoping maybe 4 points is a great result. We've taken a draw, hopefully a win. We've not only won these games, we've fucking steamrolled them. We've roller coasted these teams. And that for me, it's I've seen enough 2 games before the end where I think we've done it. I mean, I hope that don't come back to haunt me, but I don't think it will. We are something else this year. We are something we have not seen in a long time.
All right. No, Russ, I've just dropped the link if you want to come on and have your say. Russ says, evening, guys. Russ in Yarmouth here. Heart is back to normal now. It's a question to you. Who would you like to face next season in the Championship? Going for Everton, Foxes, or NCFC at home? Right. Going to bring in the man I last saw in Oakwell. We're hugging. Look, that penalty when Wes Burns went down. We looked at each other and we both went sort of simultaneously. Hey, that's not a penalty. And, well, he gave it, but he didn't award it. I haven't got an intro for him. I'm on the wrong one. There we go. Hang on. Here we go. Somebody get the tables. Hard truth are here. Delivering the truth that well, one of them is anyway.
Evening, Ben.
Evening,
I'm so tired, Rich. I don't know what half the buttons are doing anymore. I'm just hitting the mouse and nothing's working. How are you, Mr. Moss?
Was that not one of the best away games you've been to for, ever?
I mean, is it up there with Coventry away? Yeah, of course it was one of the best games I've been to. Of course it was.
It's the meaning. It's what it means. And I don't think, Gov, when we were there, right, and obviously the first goal, like you spoke about, it was a little bit sort of delayed. That we sort of, it was about a good 5-6 seconds, but the second goal, I have not seen an away end following town up and down the country go off like that. It was absolute carnage.
Yeah, and even seeing it through the screen, I thought, holy Christ, they are going nuts. And all the social media stuff, like their supporters who look at the away ground and ours, it looked like carnage. It was amazing to see. Absolutely wonderful. Heaven.
It was because it was a real solid foot. 1-0 is always, 2-0 of Towns this season has been a bit of a wafer thin scoreline. But 2-0 at half time, you felt you were really in a strong position, didn't you, Rich? And that goal itself, let's talk about the goal because Mike D says here that the finish from Hurst was brilliant. The miss earlier was bad. Although I was more critical live than I'm going to be tonight on that miss because watching it back, you were right in the stadium when you said it was a tighter angle than I was giving it credit.
Yeah, because he's gone to go across the goal in it, the far post, and he's obviously put a bit too much on for it, and it's gone out for a throw-in.
Throw, which we couldn't believe in the stadium. That's what we could agree on. It's a throw. What on earth? But that finish, that second goal. Talk us through that, because first of all, the Barnsley fans are crying that Leif Davis has handled it. Nonsense. I was right in front of it. Didn't see a hand anywhere near it.
Assist for Leif Davis from his own goal line.
And who said Town can't do long ball?
Well, when he goes long and the defender's all over him, obviously he's in the team of the season. Anderson, their captain, and it's just the way that he tries to foul him, obviously, and he's so strong, isn't he? Gets away from him.
Yeah,
but then the composure, Ben, that he shows, because obviously he's got away with him, and then he sort of just checks back a little bit. And then he just bends it in, and then it's just absolute bedlam. And I said on the WhatsApp group earlier, now you liken him to Alan Lee, don't you, Gov?
I certainly do.
He scored a goal like that. I don't know if Town fans remember, against Southampton away at St Mary's, and that sort of David Burns messaged me earlier, and he said Wes had messaged him saying that was like Didier Drogba. And it probably was. Some of the goals that he scored, just used his power, his pace, and I like the way he celebrated, and he gave a bit to obviously their fans because look, he's obviously come from Sheffield Wednesday. Someone said last night his dad was in the away end, Gov, as well. David Hurst obviously played for the Owls. But it gives you that little bit of, because I would have took 0-0 at half time. I honestly would have took 0-0 at half time. There was a little spell there, wasn't there? I want to touch on this, Gov. There was probably about 20 minutes, and we said, didn't we? We couldn't get hold of the ball in the midfield. There was a break in play. I think their lad was injured. And the away end, for about 5 minutes, there was a random Blue Army chant started up. I don't know if you remember it, Gov. And it literally went on and on and on. And that sort of galvanised us a little bit. But we're just so professional, Ben, now. And we, like you said, I would have took 4 points Saturday when I was travelling to Peterborough.
Yeah,
4 points from these 2 away games. If you look at the fixtures, and I know a lot of people, Matt will say, yeah, we've had a kind run. Yeah, we've had some kind fixtures, but you look at the games, Bolton away 2-0, Derby away 2-0, Peterborough away 3-0, Barnsley away 3-0. You've scored 10 goals against teams that are up the top of the league. You haven't conceded a goal. We've scored 37 goals and conceded 2 in 13 games. This is absolutely incredible.
I think it's complete uncharted territory for so many people. And there's no such thing as an easy run-in. This is a league where, there's been a lot of the last couple of years where we've gone to the shitty grounds and we've been spanked or held 0-0 or got a freak result. There's no such thing in League One. You've got to earn the right to be at the top, which means you have to beat the ones at the bottom and the ones at the top. And we've done it. I mean, and that is on the back of the greatest transfer January window since we bought Marcus Stewart. And it was only that January transfer window that got us promoted that year because he came in and tore shreds out the league. And is it a funny turnaround of time? Is that it's been a January transfer window, and I came on here bemoaning at Christmas to say we lack the metal to get promoted. Yeah, we went out, we bought it, and we found it.
I said that they got the heart. They got the skill. Had they got the heart? It's funny, Gov, how things work in football. Because if you remember, like you're saying there, Ben, about when we signed Marcus Stewart, his debut was away at Barnsley.
Yeah,
we scored 2 goals there, Gov, in about a minute. Now, last night it was about 3 minutes, probably. So there's parallels there. But what interests me is there was a lot of people there last night would have missed them 2 goals because they'd have gone down to get a pint. There was a lot of people going out. You think 44 minutes, it's going to be 0-0 half time. And I totally agree.
I have people around me. I sit on the upper right hand Churchman's. It always been the Churchman's for me. But at like 38 minutes, they say, right, get down the bar for a quick pint. I'm like, why the fuck did you bother coming? This is where we ramp up before half time. You're paying so much goddamn money to be here, and people would tear you up, and you're disappearing down the bar with like probably 8 minutes of play going. I'm like, what? Is this just a glorified pub experience with a bit of interesting stuff happening in the middle? It baffles me.
I thought the same.
People are begging for tickets, and you're disappearing down the bar in 38 minutes. Get in the bin.
I was saying to my wife, if I'd gone 173 miles, 3.5 hours in the car, and I'd missed 2 of the goals, even one of the goals, what's the fucking point? Like just for the price of just for the sake of a beer, I could have literally had a beer in my own front room, paid £10 on iFollow, and saved myself all that bother. Like, I mean, I'm not. I'll leave when it's done and dusted. Don't get me wrong, to put the show together, because that's what I do for this platform. But I'm not leaving to beat the traffic, as it were, Mr. Moss. I'm leaving to get Matty Phillips's.
You could have waited. You could wait to see Harry Clark's fist pumping. What do you think to that now? Because you didn't like it, did you? The first time you done it.
I can do without it, if I'm honest. I can definitely do without it.
I tell you what I do. What I like at McKenna, what I hated about Paul Cook is for some godforsaken reason he used to run out before the team and run towards the touchline, clapping everyone. And I hated that. And I like the sorry, I've got a baby with a cough in the background. and at the moment, McKenna does his whole thing, his whole presence on the pitch is calm. He comes over and claps. I just like the vibe of the team. It's a humility in dominance, and that's a really hard thing for people to have. If you're that good, it can be really hard to be humble. But I see the humility of the team, and that comes from the manager down.
I do like the town in 5, because when he walks out, he's obviously not expecting as many people to
Yeah,
all in
he
the
gives
stadium. And if he makes him jump, first of all, and he go, hey, it's like, oh, no, I didn't know you were going to be there. Like, they were in there early, them people. I was still stuck in traffic. Joe S. with a question, Rich. The title, or the infamous Talking Town 100 points, 100 goals. I'm going to say 100 points, 100 goals, because I'd like to be right, even for 4 years too late. But what do you want?
Well, look, we'd all like to win the league, wouldn't we? Let's be honest. But does it really matter? Because we're going to win Saturday. We're probably going to win both games. We probably are going to end on 100 points. Will we score? What we got scored? 93 goals?
Yeah, 7 more to go.
I do agree with you there, Ben, Saturday. I think Exeter could get a slapping. So if we score early,
yeah,
I think the way we are, and it's Mark Ashton.
I hope they bought lube.
Fucking hell.
But Ashton's he's called us relentless, hasn't he, Ben?
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what we are. Exactly.
And this is what the team is. If we're winning probably 2-0 at half-time Saturday, don't expect to come out second half when we got the cigars on. We'll go for the throat. 3, 4, 5. Let's do it in style.
At Charlton, that's relentless. At 4-0, you're thinking, okay, I wrapped it up. Maybe, bring your players up. They kept going and going. The effort you see on minute 2, for me, is precisely the effort I see in the 93rd minute. It doesn't abate, and that is such a great thing to happen. And the hate that Western Town teams, we'd have a really shit first half, and we'd suddenly ramp it up. But we start there and we end there, and I love that. And not a lot of teams have the fitness or the whereabouts to handle it. Not in this league. It'll be a requirement next year in the Championship, all going well. But this league, people don't know how to handle relentless teams because they slow down.
I think we're very fit as well. And if you think last night after that game, Barnsley started very quick. That's what they are. They're intense.
Yeah, both halves.
But I thought they couldn't continue that pace.
No.
I saw it against Sheffield Wednesday when they were 2-0 up. And then Wednesday gradually came back in the game. And I know in the end, Barnsley beat them 4-2. But Wednesday probably should have gone and won that game if I think it's Aidan Flint misses one. So I think our fitness levels as well are another thing that, look, we've bemoaned them, haven't we, on this platform? How many Sundays did we sit here and you'd play the ambulance theme, and we would back on the grass, and it's
back on the grass.
And now, but it does show you when you've got a winning team, Ben, that everybody wants a part of it. Everyone wants to be fit.
I was thinking it last night. Norwood, when things weren't going his way, he'd all of a sudden get injured. He would slink off and all that sort of thing. And I think a good team, a good ethos, a good attitude, a momentum, it keeps people fit. It's just something about it which keeps them on the grass, and it's very easy to suddenly become injured in a really a failing team or a team not doing what it should do. And we've seen so many players do it. We start doing bad, we start getting injured. Is it a coincidence that all of a sudden we are playing the best football in a generation? And almost every single person on that team is fit, bar the genuinely awful injuries. Even the players that were out for the season, they're back, 10 games early. Look at Don Ball, for Christ's sakes. If we were 18th or we were 10th or 12th, would then players be rushing back? I don't think so. I think it's something about the momentum of a season which makes players. You train hard.
You want to, you're hungry, aren't you? You're hungry to be involved. I think we all question their mentality, and I think that's something that has to be sort of highlighted, and whether that's all to do with Mr. Yellow Boots, whose name again I think it's Kevin Mincher.
He was there last night, wasn't he? Striding down the touchline.
He was, and his wonderful yellow shoes. But we are mentally strong, and right now you look at everything that comes out of the football club from the players on the pitch, and even at half time, there's they're walking off. They're like hungry lions that have got the taste of a state.
Right? You say we're mentally strong. Matt has touched on this. What has been the change then, Gov, from Bristol Rovers? When we're there on that Tuesday night and we draw 0-0 and we really struggled, is it a case of Morty's having an argument with the fans? Is it the players, have they got themselves together and had a meeting and said, right, this is it, we're going to draw a line in the sand? Or as McKenna, like you say, he's obviously, McKenna's going to speak to Mourinho, all them managers that he's been with, like Ralph Rangnick, you say, Gov, Solskjaer, he's going to talk to them, surely, because he's still a young and inexperienced manager, Ben, when you think of it. Like, he's only been here, 18 months in the job? Not even that.
No, I also think that's his greatest virtue, because I think you have a certain freedom and a kind of, you're a bit more experimental when you're young. When you've been in the game for 30 years, like Mick McCarthy, you're going to go back onto the one thing you've always done that's given you any kind of success. So I think there's a flexibility of inexperience that you probably don't get with when you've been doing it for years and years. And I've got to say, and then I was moaning at Kieran McKenna, and rightly so for a period of time, because he would tinker, he would make odd substitutions, he wouldn't know his best 11. And do you know what? Within the space of a season, he has learned as he's gone on the job. And that is a sign of a hell of a manager. I mean, you think remember what Bournemouth under Eddie Howe did for years ago, and how they've all just gone up the leagues. I think we're doing the same thing. I mean, Kieran McKenna, second season in charge, wherever he goes after us, it will be a massive team, because this guy is one of the special ones. I think we ain't going to see too many of him in this generation. I think he's got something really unique.
It was a really sticky period. It was a really sticky period. It was a really tricky period, and football is its own little world. Like if you're a manager of a company and someone has a bad week and you say, well, don't come in next week, they're gonna go, oh, brilliant, great. Football, you say, I'm dropping you for a week. It's a different mentality. Professional athletes.
In the chat, a lot of people saying change formation. Gov, did we really change formation?
I don't think we did. I think what that's why I said about did he pick up the phone and speak to a mentor? We've all got mentors, particularly in football. You need that common understanding of they know what you're going through. For me, we showed consistency of selection, but adaptability while sticking to philosophy. Because sometimes as managers, I do feel they can sometimes think if they change, they're changing their philosophy and they're moving away from their principles. Whereas
a great example of that is George Hurst. You've got a 20-goal season striker on the bench, and every time he comes on, he scores. Now, maybe a more experienced manager would think, I've got to start him at the business end. My next game is scoring goals. Kieran McKenna does not do that. He sticks with what has been working, even though he would have every justification to bring on the striker who's just broken. We're that fucking good. We've got a 20-goal season striker who can't start. But that's not because I think, George Hurst is so good that he can't not. I just think that the system that he believes in works so well. He's rigid with it. He believes in it and he sticks with it. And when there is time to tinker or change, then he will do it. But it's a lot later in the game. And it's that's an example for me of how sure he is with the system he is. He's not bringing on the striker that scores every game.
I think players make systems, don't they, Ben? Like when we signed Ladapo, when you and Matt done the show, didn't you, about Freddie? And you said that the Rotherham fan said that he's always played with a partner like Michael Smith. Now, and it took him a while. Look, understandable, he's gone to a new club and he's playing in a different team, different system, and he's got to get adjusted to that. And he has improved Ladapo, whereas George Hurst, he just fits seamlessly, guys, into this team. He does. Yeah. It's like he's a ready-made player, and this is obviously why we chased him in the summer, because McKenna rated him, because he wanted him. Where would we... Look, we could have won the league by now if we'd have had George Hurst all season.
He's such a system player, isn't he?
Nobody knows what we could have done if we'd have had him all season. I don't want to be... That's not being harsh on Ladapo, Ben, because Freddie's got 20 goals in all competitions, which it's not to be sniffed at. We've sat on here on this platform saying we need a 20-goal-a-season striker. We've got one.
Yeah.
Then again, you say about Hurst, and I think you are right, but if we'd had Massimo from the start, and that's not to detract from Lee Evans either, who had a good opening campaign, but Massimo brings so much. And yesterday, I was sat next to you. When that ball left his boot, what did I say to you?
You said goal.
And then if you watch the Barnsley vlogs back today, they all say goal. It was hit so well, and you just thought that's on its way. That's traveling.
He makes the player next to him better. My quintessential thing I love in football. He has made Morsey. Morsey was always good. He had a funny period, but he's just elevated Morsey's game. And I love players who make other players better. Massimo is the quintessential example of that. Morsey's operating on a 9.5 almost every game, whereas he was on an 8. And he has come in and slotted into there and just elevated that around him. I love that guy. I mean, there's examples of all around a pitch, of these players linking up. You think Burns to Clark, or to I think Hurst. I think to Chaplin worked really, really well. The combinations. I mean, fuck me, it's probably a lot easier to name the things that don't work because I'm buggered if I can think of them.
But he's reading the game is just second to none. That's his main attribute. As he gets older, his reading of the game is so good. And yesterday, he was just phenomenal for me, except that sort of 15-20 minute period when we said the ball was loose in the midfield area.
You have to give the opposition a little bit of credit, Gov, because obviously they're the home team. Barnsley, look, they've won 9 out of 9.
I try not to.
Yeah, but I think you have to sometimes. We always look at it through our eyes, but they're a good. Don't people sit on here and think that Barnsley are not a good side. Barnsley are a good side, right? I think they probably could win the playoffs. Because
I don't know. So do I. Yeah.
I don't really care who wins the playoffs as long as Town go up. I couldn't care less. But they're a good side. They've won 9 out of 9, and you can see why they steamroller teams start fast. But we just sat in there and we did soak it up, Gov. And if you look at the game overall, how many saves really did Christian Walton have to make?
Not many.
The most danger he was in when he got that bottle lobbed at him.
Why I've said about Barnsley. I hope Bolton or Derby go up if it's Derby in the playoffs, because the only 2 games we've had those issues this year, Rich, have been what, 2 games?
Yeah, but I think you just that's an isolated idiot. And look, there's a lot of love between Town and Barnsley, obviously, because of playoffs back in 2000. They called it like the friendly final, and
they were great. They were great.
Nothing against Barnsley as a football club. Look, every club has morons, Martin, who support them. And
very true.
Look at the guy at Peterborough, Ben, on Saturday, who spits at Wes Burns.
Yeah, disgusting. It was so unbelievable. I thought he just went like he was something, but actually, when looking back from replay, I thought, you son of a bitch. But credit to they went straight in there and they took care of it, and I love that. It's the reaction rather than the thing, and that they were really good with how they reacted to that, as I would expect someone at Ipswich to do if anyone was stupid enough to spit at a player. I just don't think we're that kind of crowd.
I will come to some comments in a second. Before we do, it's about philosophy. Yesterday, again, halfway through the second half, you turned to me and you said, "We're not playing it short now, are we?" And that's the subtle changes, I think. Whereas before we would have belligerently played out from the back, regardless. It's our style, it's our philosophy, it's our way. Yesterday, 2-0 up, Walton was putting off on the ball and launching it. And that's all
we know how to manage the game, don't we? And earlier in the season, there was a game that we can all talk about the Charlton game. Really, now that's irrelevant now. That's just one of them games where you probably won't see a game like that. At the time, it was a sore one, but looking back now, it doesn't matter. But they play football now. The guy in front of us was doing my head in the first half. Every time Walton's getting it, and he's like, I could see him up. This is how we play. Have you not watched us all season? We're brave when we've got the ball. We break the lines and then we're off. But second half, it was, even when we missed the penalty, Ben, a lot of teams that could have affected them. The home team would have had a lift.
I agree.
But it didn't.
It's what you do in those. And that's what you talk. Going back to that word you use about relentless, is that you can have your setbacks. Look at the games where we've gone 1-0 down, or we've really suffered and we've come back and won it. That is the stuff of champions. It's what you do when it goes to shit. It's not when you steamroller someone 6-0, because everyone's got that. If someone has a good day and a bad day combined, it's what you do when it goes wrong. And every single time since January, when things have been trying, we have risen to it and absolutely destroyed it. And that's the stuff of champions for me. That's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference.
Absolutely. Right. So a few comments. Russ says, "Rich, who'd like to face first at home in the Championship next season?"
Good question.
Give me Norwich.
It's not going to be Norwich, is it? It's not going to be Norwich first up. It could be anybody, but let's just.
Is that something that's chosen or something that's randomised? How is that allocated every season?
They say it's random, but
super computer.
Well, they say that, but then when you look at the Premier League fixtures, Ben, it's sometimes it's by coincidence when Man City are playing United and Arsenal are playing Spurs on the same day. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I agree.
You talk about Man City. Yeah, I felt like a Man City fan this week. I've seen my team away from home twice, 6 goals, 0 conceded, 6 points, and by 70 minutes we're singing "Fuck off home, you've seen the town."
Man City were once a League Two team.
It's been wonderful. It's been purely wonderful seeing the grim faces of opposition fans when we're singing to them that they can go home now because you've seen the town and you've had your big day. Bye-bye. Oh, it's been wonderful this week. I've had a great week. Josh Russell, go on.
So, do you want an easy game to get that first 3 points and just get a momentum, or do you want that kind of that Leicester or Everton at home thing?
I want to get there first.
Do you want the test or do you want the points? Yeah, that's a tough one.
Josh Russell, changing from formation and style has been the difference for him. Kelly says Broadhead, Clark, and Hursty have been messed about by the clubs, but it feels like they've found their home here now. Norman, if we had made the January signings in the summer, how many points do you think we'd be on now?
That's an interesting one. Who was I talking to? Someone yesterday about that. If we hadn't made them signs, we would have probably scraped into the playoffs, Ben.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. They have been the difference. And as I said, it's Sheffield Wednesday didn't have a January transfer window and they fell off hard. We have one and we raised our game, and that's the difference. And I look at my Twitter algorithm now, because it's all gone Sheffield Wednesday. And every bloody time someone posts on there, I get on my Twitter, because I went on a few posts to have what they were saying. And they're all saying it's the January transfer window that cost us, because they didn't buy anyone. I think they got one loanee in who started 2 games or something and done a few minutes. They didn't strengthen, and they're now not getting automatic promotion. We did, and we almost certainly are. And that's what a good January transfer window can do for you.
Did you see the one today, Gov? It's not Wednesday crumble. It's not jammy Dodgers, Ben. It's Championship Dodgers.
I saw that. It was absolutely brilliant, that one.
I'm not joking at their expense until it's definitely confirmed for us.
Come on.
No.
Exeter at home and lost 5 on the bounce. Come on.
Well, as I said at the start of the show, Rich, if we don't get what we need out of these 2 games, we don't deserve to be anywhere near the Championship.
I think Saturday's going to be 5-0. Connor Chapman will get a hat-trick. We'll bypass Clark Harris to get the golden boot. And we'll be 2 goals away from 100 goals. That's what Saturday's going to be. And it'll be better than 6.
Aidi says, great to see McKenna drop his guard post-match. Had a great grin on his face at how well things are going. Ben, you're doing sex right, mate, if you think it's better than sex.
That's great to see.
McSaucepan, Luongo shore up their defence by bossing midfield, stopping the mid long-range balls, which were going in. That gives more time to get a goal to go in front instead of playing from behind.
It was a little fist bump. There was a little fist bump from McKenna last night. He's starting. He a few weeks ago, Ben, he was letting his guard down just a little bit, and as we're getting closer to that line, I think Saturday you'll see an outpouring and more emotion from him.
He will come out in spandex and do cartwheels around the pitch and let off flyers. It will be beautiful. I think secretly he's like the most excitable, giddy, childlike man ever. But I like that stoicism. Yeah. I like the calmness. We've had all the managers of all the character. Paul Cook, always a big character. Fuck off. Lambert, all his clever quips. McCarthy's all clever with his words. Get in the bin. You want someone who's solid, consistent. He's always one thing, and that one thing carries a team. And I think on Saturday he'll go, now you can lose your shit. I think we'll see it for him as well.
Loving the comments. Keep them coming in. I'm trying to get it through as many as I can. I've got Louis joining us just a second. I'll ask him a few things in a moment. But first of all, should we have the result we want to have on Saturday, which obviously is a Town comprehensive 44-0 win? The topic on social media today has been pitch invasions. Now, I'm not for them. Yeah. I don't think we should have one. I'm not for them. I don't like them. But I'm also not bothered enough to go and post on social media about it. What are your 2 thoughts on the potential of a pitch invasion, Mr. Moss, as a fan?
Now, look, I know obviously last season there was in the playoffs there was a couple of unsavoury incidents, wasn't there? There was the Forest Sheffield United away at Burnley. There was also the Port Vale Swindon game. I can't remember the Swindon striker. He'd been given a bit of grief. Now, I think Saturday you'll probably find, guys, I think probably the last 10 minutes, I think there'll be quite a lot of police probably around the perimeter of the ground, Ben, if I'm being honest.
300. They'll just
now, Leyton Orient won the league. They had a pitch invasion.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, but it's just the world that we live in now. There's a lot of killjoys, a lot of snowflakes. Now, all right, Poppy. Now I sit 3 rows from the pitch.
Come back to us, Rich. Ben, what do you think of a pitch invasion?
I don't think we should have one, but for probably a more nuanced reason. And when we got promoted last time, I went on the pitch. Of course, I was 16, and Christ, it was brilliant. I want those players and that manager to have the pitch, to walk around, to soak it in because they've earned it. I want them at 94 minutes for the whistle to go, and I just want them to hug and look around them and look at what they've created for us. I don't want to take it away from them. I want them to have the space to just use the pitch as they want to. You know, they've had to use the pitch as a battleground for so long. Now use it as a podium. And I just don't think that the town fans should invade the pitch for that reason. They have earned that space to look around them and go, we've done it. And that's what I really want to see. And that's a hard thing to do when you get 10,000 people on, then you've got to marshal them all out. And didn't I release a press statement today saying, I know it's a formality thing, but we'll pass on your details to the police and you'll be banned for next season if you invade the pitch.
What, all of us?
Well, do you know what? If they're going to pick 50 people as a show of, EFL, we've done the right thing. I sure as shit don't want to be one of them 50 because I've already bought my season ticket.
Well, you won't see me on the field, that's for sure.
Me too. I'm sitting 200 feet in the air, so I don't really fancy doing it. But I think give the players the space of that pitch on the 94th minute and let them have it, and let us show them the appreciation. That's my.
That said, I've written down some words here, and as always, I bring the balance here. Together, our time, all in the same direction. This season's been big, Rich, about us as a group, as an all of us. So why would you not want to celebrate with each other?
I don't see the problem in it. If everyone behaves themselves, but like I said earlier, Ben, there is in every fan base, you have a few idiots. Now,
all it takes is 4 twats, and it destroys.
I could see a nice pitch invasion. Look, 92, they come on against Brighton. Bolton, I was on the pitch when we beat them in the playoffs. Look, it's good natured. Everyone's happy. Are we not allowed to celebrate in that way? Look, pitch invasions have been going on for years, Gov. Outpouring of emotions. We've been in the fucking doldrums for how long? We ain't seen anything. And then people are saying, oh, don't go on the pitch. Oh, you might get a ban. Nah, get in the bin. Get on the pitch. Celebrate.
In truth, it doesn't matter. People will do it or not. You can't control the will of 15,000 people.
No.
It will happen.
And I think, Ben, look, they've got the Player of the Year awards. They're going to have that at the end of the game. I could see pitch invasion. You're on there 10, 15 minutes, over the tannoy, clear the pitch, get back in the stands. They'll come out, they'll do the awards, they'll do the lap of honour, and then we can all have a party. That's just the way I see it. I think that's sensible. Will it happen? I don't know. Will I go on the pitch if I have the opportunity? Yes, I will.
Yeah, I'm not strictly against it at all. I don't really have a hard view on it. I just think that for me, I don't know, if I was a player, okay, yeah, but maybe if you're a player, it's nothing better than 800 people around you just looking up at you and on someone's shoulders. But I just think I just want them to have that moment because it's them that earned it, not us. And I know we've had to suffer, and we're the ones who are here long after they're gone, and we've had to pay our dues. There's something about allowing them the space to use it rather than us, because they're the ones that have got us here.
But you think
it's one half or the other.
Before the game, if you want to get there early, Blue Action want everyone to line into Sir Ralph Ramsey Way, Constantine Road, and like when the buses come in, you see like Liverpool do it. I think that's a brilliant idea. I really do.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that idea as well. I have put a poll in the chat as a request of Rax Max in regards to pitch invasions. So that's now in the chat. Just to be clear, it's a position of myself.
Lee Anderson is saying stay off because you're small and you won't see anything, Lee.
And he's in the upper stand. But just to be clear, it is a position of myself and Talking Town that you should follow all guidelines, procedures, and safety notices and not pitch invade. Just to be clear, that is my position and the Talking Town position.
Are you doing
stewards are not going to keep anyone off, are they? Have you seen some of the stewards we've got to pull them around? They're not going to. And they're not. If you get paid, what, Ben, do they get paid for a game? 30 quid?
Yeah, not enough to stop anyone. Yeah, they're on. Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah. Are you going to play out a pre-game at Sir Ralph, Gov, on the last
I'm going to be there. Yeah. We're going
are you going to be any earlier at all, just so we can all get together and just enjoy?
We're going for breakfast, Ben. If you fancy coming for breakfast with us in town.
We're all going to town, Benny.
I'm full up on appointments right up until 1 o'clock. I'm going straight for breakfast. I wish I could.
I'm suddenly going to tickle in my throat. €5 from David. Appreciate that. Isn't Gov? I'm not 4'9", Dominic. Jesus. I mean, I've lost a few inches, but I'm not 4'9".
You've got the inches where it counts.
Cheers, Ben.
I've got size 15 feet, by the way, everybody.
Right, Louis.
I liked the bird coat last night.
Did you like my bird? Sorry, Lou. Not my Burcoat last night.
I didn't know until you pulled up your top at half time and it had fucking bird shit all over it. I mean, literally, you just literally left, haven't you? Just like that. Yeah. Where's my town shirt? I'm going now.
No, the town shirt was already in the car from Saturday. I literally decided, right, I'm going to Barnsley. I've got to leave now and go.
And then he rings me up and when he gets there, the bloke who's got the ticket, he can't get hold of him. He's thinking, oh, shit, I've drove 173 miles and I'm going to be watching it on iPhone.
I'm telling you, I was doing that. I was thinking, have I driven 3.5 hours to be fucked over by a ticket?
We had a Twitter Spaces on the way home last night. It was good. Done a little dry run for possibly things ahead for next season.
You know what? Good man. I had some spaces last night. 3 spaces I went into. McDonald's 1, McDonald's 2, McDonald's 3. All was shut. Supposed to be 24 hours, and they wouldn't serve me. Yes.
Did you go there after the game?
Yeah, on the way home. I was starving.
McDonald's literally about a half mile from the stadium.
Yeah, but I would get. I went on M1, so I went down the M1. Doddington was shut.
We went A1 on the way home.
Yeah, and they said I came A1 on the way up, and that was rubbish. So I did M1 on the way down. It was better for getting home quicker, but it was just nonsense. Louis,
hey,
how are you, my man? You well?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you guys? Yeah,
good man. So your team are on the verge of promotion. Exeter at home. Just to give you some information about the mighty Exeter. They've lost, the last 5 reads LLLLL. There's nothing to play for. Their top goal scorer is Sam Nombi, 17.
Yeah.
Assists is Giovanni Brown on 9. And the last game was a 2-1 defeat to Wednesday. And the last time they played Town, they lost 2-0. So, Old Town says, hold my beer. What does New Town do, Louis?
I'm a bit mixed, because obviously I'm confident, but it's just one more game, and you get that sort of that rush of emotion because I guess it's different for me because I've never seen this before. When was my first season? First season was the playoff season under McCarthy, and that was my first season, and then this is the first time I'm going to ever experience this. And
you are who I'm talking about, Lewis. I'm so happy that you get to see this because we all remember how good this feels and we know what's coming. And for you, this is like, oh my, what is this going to be like when we get promoted? What is that first season in the new league like? It is as close to bliss as you can ever imagine. I'm so excited for you. Oh.
Yeah, but I think we'll do it. I mean, I actually didn't realize they'd lost their last 5. I thought they were decent, but did not realize that they must have dropped off then. So I think we'll do it.
They're on the beach. They're on the beach. They're on the beach. There's nothing to play for.
Yeah, exactly.
They're playing beach ball.
Yeah, I know, but it seems to be the reoccurring thing that whenever we score first, it's like the team. It's like the team just goes, shit, right? Should we just go home because we're about to get battered here? It's like we score first and just like, okay, yeah, we're done. And then we just turn it on and turn into a different animal. And I think, you say obviously what was the turning point? I think one match that was key for us, and you may disagree on this, I think not losing to Wednesday was pretty key when we were 2-0 down. Because that game, I think that was a game I think we all were like, we were 2-0 down. We were, oh no. Yeah, we was terrible. And then coming back in that and could have easily won that, really. We could have easily won that game. And then I think it was that point I think I started thinking this might actually be on here. And I think when we beat Forest Green, I think 4-0, I think you're not going to believe what I said. You're probably not going to believe this, but I was talking to my dad and I said to my dad, there is no reason why this team could not go and win like 8 games in a row. And then they go on this unbelievable run. And then look where we are now. And I think it was the Charlton game where we won 6-0. And I think I looked at the table, it was like we were second. I was like, this could be on the cards now. We could actually go on and finish this off. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, after Bristol Rovers, were we 10 points behind second? Was it 10 points?
Yes.
I mean, for me, that's remarkable coming back from 10 points, in my opinion. I mean, to make up that deficit is incredible. So
I told you we'd catch Wednesday. None of you believe me.
Turning point that's been called out Morsey. Since then, he's been incredible. Well, I do.
There you go.
Keith.
Morsley's brilliant.
Louis, we're going to win Saturday before I let you go.
Yeah, why not? We're going to win 4-0. We love
Good
it.
man.
We love 4-0.
Good
I love
man.
it.
Appreciate you coming on, Louis. Look
Thanks,
after
guys.
yourself. He makes a good point there, Rich, about when we go a goal ahead, the other team sort of drop their own heads. We now have that aura of invincibility about us, and other teams have their reputation goes before them. They know conceding to us now is already an uphill battle that just got even worse.
I think last night, right? I don't know if anyone see on the socials yesterday the Barnsley official account, Ben, what they tweeted. We've been waiting for you for 5 weeks, and I'm thinking,
Right, yeah. And you know what?
Is your team talk, Kieran McKenna?
There you go. Stick it up on the board. Yeah, absolutely.
And then
right.
if you look after the game, all the players have replied to that tweet with some absolutely brilliant things. So sometimes I think we had people, Ben, saying, we got
the old W's. Who's next?
Saying, didn't we? When the game was cancelled, that Town should have played it. I mean, what were them people thinking that we wanted to play that game without Broadhead, without Wes Burns? But wasn't it great last night? I thought it was rather ironic when Kieran brings on Greg Lee, because obviously Greg Lee's call up to Jamaica, Gov, was why the game was played, and then Greg Lee didn't get called up for Jamaica. So a bit of shithousery there from Kieran, I think, Ben.
I agree. And sometimes that's all it takes, isn't it? It's like, boys, go. That's all you need. I think it was something like that. Great.
Can I stick up for the social media guys here? Because they've got a job where they've got to create content. And we saw recently with Charlton, Macaulay Bond harmlessly liking Town posts, and it sends a certain section of the fan base into an absolute meltdown. They've got to create content that's engaging and for all, and sort of plays on being really passionate about your football team. So when you get things like www.who's next or we're ready for it, I feel sorry for them when they get called out on it, because they're just trying to fill a gap on their social media KPIs. You know, they've all got targets. They've all got.
Well, didn't Wolfenden say? Was it Wolfenden say in the interview? It's like, don't make a fool of yourself when you are talking on the pitch. And
that's fine. But as a social media man, you're
reaction in the second half to their fans, Ben. It was down.
Sorry?
Did you see Wolfie's reaction to their fans when the ball went out for a goal kick and he's like giving it?
Yeah, he's giving it the big, and I love that. He's got a bit of attitude.
How much has he improved, Ben? Because I think
yes, I'm so glad that's acknowledged, because for me, when they do player of the seasons, it's going to be the Chappers or the Moore season, justifiably so, and they'll win it. I think there should be a second award for the fans. Your low-key player of the season, and mine is Wolfenden. Every single fucking game. I think even Matt said it on the pod yesterday. Every single game he plays, he's at least a 7. And no one even notices him doing his job, which is a sign of a damn good bloody central defender.
When we walked back to the car yesterday, Ben, we obviously we see Mark Ashton had a picture of him. We walked back with Andy Rolls, Gov, because his car was in the car park. And he said to me, "Who you vote for Player of the Year?" And I said, "I vote for Chaplin." He's like, No. He said Christian Walton or Luke Wolfenden. And I agree, because it's always going to be someone who shines with your goals. Last season, Wes Burns. It could have been JD last season because he was excellent, Ben. But Wes got it, obviously, for his goals and his assists. This season, Chaplin's got, 24 league goals. He's equalled Murphy last night, with his goals, gone to 27. So it's always going to be the sexy, your striker, who gets the goals, who gets the headlines, where Wolfie and Walton and even Cameron Burgess, Ben, every single week. If you, like I said at the start, when we played 13 games here, I know we scored 37 goals in the last 13. We've conceded 2 goals.
And that is a great part. And we all focus on that end because we've got the 20 goals in the strikers. We've been wanting it for years. But this end has had to do the business to support it. The -2 goals is, and that's worth that. Maybe that's going to be an extra point. That could have been the point that set us up. But what those guys have done, and it is under the radar because we really only really will stand up when it's on that last kind of 15 yards. Those guys have been immense, and I hope they get the platitudes for being a bedrock to allow Morsey and Burns and Chappers and Leaf, all these people to do what they do, because it starts from the back. especially when you start playing for the back, because it has that whole thing, the linchpin of the way of play comes out from Burgess and Wolfie. It starts there, and the system we have, that's the first door you have to walk through, and they've done it 45 games in a row, arguably. Well, maybe not.
What about last night when Wolfie strides out and he just flips it over one of their players? He's the Suffolk Beckenbauer, Gov.
To Suffolk. Okay, right. So Andy Rolls, Christian Warner, or Luke Wolfenden for Player of the Year shouts. Mr. Lee Anderson. Do you agree with Mr. Andy Rolls there?
No.
No? Why not? Tell us why. Put more meat on that bone, Mr. Anderson.
No, Wolferden's gone about his business quietly, but I don't think he's the standout player by a long way. No, there's too many ahead of him. Too many. But I mean, Walton, you could argue because of all the clean sheets he's kept, and it's really difficult to give it to a goalkeeper unless, of course, you're playing in a Mick McCarthy team where you don't cross the halfway line, and but in an attacking team, the defence are never going to get it. But I don't think it's going to be difficult to single a player out. But Sam Morsey, it's influence on the game, isn't it? It's not that Wolfen's not played well most of the time, because a lot of his work will go unnoticed, and when he does make a mistake, it's probably someone that's going to cost us that sort of thing. But there's people ahead of. There's Morsey's ahead of him, isn't he? Chaplin.
And then you can argue with Morsey, Lee, that his game's been elevated, like you say, Ben, by Luongo next to him.
Yeah. I mean, the defence as well. I mean, the defence is doing well. It's not because individually they're much better than other players. It's just that as a unit, and I think defenders are more judged by a unit. And and you can look at Cameron Burgess when he gets pulled out of position because Leif Davis isn't doing his job, and we can see that goal against Plymouth, and the one was it the Oxford one? No, what was the one? The Wicken goal. They were two very similar goals, and that's because Leif Davis wasn't tucking round properly. So that exposes Cameron Burgess. So Burgess is better when they're solid as a unit, because you start drawing Burgess out into that left channel outside the box, and that's his weakness. I'm not saying that makes him a poor defender. That just makes that. So defensively, it's a unit. It's really difficult, I think, to pick defenders. But if you were going to pick a defender, Leif Davis has had more of an impact on the season in terms of going forward because of all the goals he's scored.
He's top assist now in the League One bit.
League. It's all those corners, and it's no coincidence that our set plays have improved since he's been taking them. I mean, I was a defender of Evans, but you don't see many bad balls into the box from Leif Davis.
I think I was right on.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong about it. I mean, I sort of picked up for him. But can I just say about last night? Hurst. Oh, fucking hell. If someone can tell me a better number 9 striker's performance.
In his role.
The
only thing bad about him is his haircut, and that's it. Everything else is great.
For many a year. I mean, he was a bit slow when he started in terms of hitting the ground running, and I've said on here that out of the silence, the jury was still out for me. But last night, he really showed it. He was everything, gnarly, but not he wasn't nasty, and I don't know where Barnsley talking about getting him, that he should have been sent off. But so I don't really get that. But anyway, against the League One defender who's in the team of the year, I mean, what a battle that was to watch. But the way he occupied 2, sometimes 3 defenders, his arms were out. It was awkward, but he had pace, he had power. He brought people into the game. What a number 9 performance! The best I've seen in a Town shirt for many years.
I think that's a really fair analysis of that. Actually, for the role he was put in there and bought for, it was the zenith of what a number 9 should be last night. That's what you show other number 9s of clubs. This is your role. This is how it's done. He had
a bit of Andy Carroll, a modern day sort of Andy Carroll about him in some respects. But
don't
also,
you think we should play 2 up front though, Lee? Don't you think we should play 2 up front, like Mike said?
We play 4 up front, don't we, or 3? We play more up front than 1. we have 4 forwards, so I don't really get that. But yeah, he's made the difference. And I just earlier on when you said about the points total we would have had if those 4 signings hadn't come in. Think where we could have been if they'd have come in July, August. Those signings and they'd have stayed fit. I mean, I'm not saying we'd have gone on the same run, but we would have more than 92 points now with the way that team's playing. And you have to pinch yourself, don't you, to think. I think what we're witnessing, we don't realise. I think we're all in the moment, but it'll be reflection after the season ends, and we'll be thinking, "Well, did we just really witness that?" Because I don't think it's really, for me, it's still not sunk in. But we haven't won it yet, guys. We haven't won it yet. Let's still be a bit humble about all this. We haven't crossed the line. We are not there, and I just don't want it to come back and bite us on the arse. You guys are sitting there going, "Oh, Barnsley did the team." The Barnsley social media did the team talk for McKenna. What do you think the Exeter players are going to do when they see people lying in the streets to clap the team in? And we haven't won enough. We've done nothing yet. We haven't achieved anything. We haven't.
I'm fucking terrified.
They might well be, but it can come back and bite you on the arse. Football's a funny game. It can come back
It
and
is,
bite you on the
it
arse.
is.
Come on, it's all about enjoying yourself. We haven't.
I've got to say, look, I'm the most cynical bastard who's ever graced this podcast.
Can't confirm that's true.
Even I can say I think we've.
It's like Dominic Dean says there, Lee. Cheer up. Come on.
I'm happy. I'm ecstatic.
You're catching up to your happiness. You can't believe how happy you are. You've got to
You can't celebrate. You can't celebrate till you've won something.
You are right. And this is Ipswich Town, and we have seen collapses before. But I do feel that we have fucked
Exeter.
I think we have done it.
What I would
Exeter
say,
Port Vale. You tell me the difference between them 2 teams, and how did we play the other night? Not saying we played badly.
Port Vale had something to play for, Lee. They had a new manager, and they've been struggling. Whereas Exeter, like you said, they're on the beach. They've lost 5 on the spin. They were playing a right back up front the other week. They've got 7 injuries.
They're playing as a striker as well.
We played right back up front against Wimbledon all them years back, and he scored.
What I would say
is probably a bit better player than him.
Yeah, he might well be. Yeah, absolutely.
lining the street to clap the team in is very different to any number of different things you could do. Where you were saying we haven't won anything yet, they've had a tremendous season. They've got themselves back into contention when many people have written them off, and they do deserve to be clapped for that. So if you want to be there and clap for that purpose alone, that we are on a Tuesday night in April, the sun is still out at 7:45, and the games mean something again. It's been a long time since I've been to a town game in April where it's meant jack shit. Yesterday meant everything. So they deserve to be clapped for that and that alone, because they pulled themselves out of that fire. Nobody else. They and them themselves alone. So
ask any player, any member of staff if they want that on Saturday. Ask them. They'll say no. None of them want it.
Well, I ask them publicly.
They don't mind afterwards.
Because publicly they'll say they'll love it, but privately they can say they don't.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be negative. I'm just.
You're not trying very hard, mate.
I'm old enough to see things like this. There are things in football that can change, and let's get over the line and then get up them all.
You have a string of bad relationships. You get cheated on and treated like crap. And all of a sudden, you're this wonderful person, and you can't believe they're real. You're waiting for them for that text to come through saying, "Oh, he's been cheated." You're waiting for it because you've been traumatized. But I honestly think this time it just feels different, and for the reason that the feeling behind the final result is different. I don't think, if we just got to get that extra win, it just feels different in my guts.
I agree. I'm not saying we won't do it.
I know you're not.
I'm really confident.
You're like me. We've been down in the trenches for so long. You can't wash the mud off you.
No.
I get it.
If we can't take a point, because I think if we can't get 2 points from the last 2 games from where we've been, then then we don't deserve it, do we? From where we've been. But I mean, the other point is we could get 100 points here, just flipping it around and being more positive. We could get 100 points and finish second.
Yeah.
I mean, how about that? 100 points and finish second. I mean, that's ridiculous.
You just got to take your hat off to Plymouth. You just have to take your hat off to Plymouth, because 100%. I said on Sunday, Lee, there was a lot of people saying after the Papa John's Trophy final, when they got absolutely hammered, that the wheels were going to fall off but you have to give them credit. The reason we won't win the league, and I think Plymouth will win the league, is because we've drawn 13 games. We've only lost 4. That's the reason why we won't win the league. We are the best team in this league. We're the best football team in this league. We're top of everything. Goals scored, goals conceded, everything. But I think at the end of the day, we're probably going to come up just short. And Plymouth win the league, and you just have to take your hat off to them and say, look, well done.
Yeah, exactly.
We owe them one.
Yeah, I think, you can't argue that because they're there. But, I mean, we won't take winning the league now, do we? We just want to finish in the top 2.
There's a lot of love, on the socials, and there's a lot of love between Plymouth and Ipswich. There's a lot of gifts going up, like in Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the kind of the muscle thing about kind of going up together, and we've done it. There's a lot of love and respect. No, respect is the term, actually, not love. There's a lot of respect between Plymouth and Ipswich. Not between Wednesday, not between Barnsley, but these two teams are like, we've earned the right to be here, and here we should be.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen all that, but I've seen some other bits as well. But there was one guy, Bradders or someone who goes on Twitter. He's been giving us a boost, saying we're all sort of inbred or something like this. But he did say last night, fair play, that we've won those 2 away games. But he can say that from a place of comfort, But really, Sheffield Wednesday, if something did happen, they could catch. They need the same amount of points as us, really, because we've got better goal difference. So if some bizarre reason that they got caught by Sheffield Wednesday in the last 2 games, Sheffield Wednesday have a better goal difference. So that's a point less. So even for them, they've still got to go out and do it. But they've scored 13 goals in injury time. 13 goals in injury time, and then they have a player. They play against 10 men the other night. I'm not bitter about it. It's just sometimes those sort of things go for you. But yeah.
Perfect.
I am happy. I am.
I know you've just come full circle, because 16 months ago you were telling me with a straight face we had the best squad in League One, sitting 9th.
Good. Yes. Good.
You've come full circle.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Just having the best players doesn't guarantee you anything. Doesn't guarantee you anything.
We've got the best squad now, Lee. Be confident in them. Now's the time to tell me. We're going to do
but it's still football. It just gives you a better opportunity, doesn't it? It just gives you a better chance. Then you're going to win. Doesn't look at Luton. Look at Luton in look at the money Luton have got.
It makes me feel
in league, in the championship,
in the playoffs, the championship. That should be us. And it will be us next year. It will be us.
Start thinking about where you want to go in Everton next year. That's what you got to worry about.
Beautiful.
Well, Lee, to see.
I've got a bet.
Everton.
Yeah. Stop thinking about where you want to go.
Well, you still want your wheels on your car when you come out the ground. You've got,
Oh, gee,
maybe not. But I catch a train that day, but even then they'll probably nick your bloody.
Views are their own, not of the network. Lee Anderson, I love you and I appreciate you.
Yeah, cheers, guys. See you on Saturday.
Saturday. Is there anything else, gentlemen? Because I have got a bed that is calling me. What have we got?
I've got about 100 3-word takeaways if you want me to fire through.
Oh, great. Yeah, you asked for that, didn't you? Yeah.
Including. Right. So we'll start off with Away Days Beer Company. One more win. Stephanie Broadhead, which is Nathan's mum.
No way.
Yes. Nathan, her 3-word takeaway was Nathan Paul Broadhead. There you go. Shout out to Stephanie. Right. Matt Stannard, McKenna Makes Miracles. Matt Stannard, George Hurstbeast. Mark Goddard, It's Nearly Time. Ben Moore, Tykes Are Quiet. I'm in Tears. Big Game Saturday. Aaron, Promotion Party Saturday. Richard Faulkner, Proper Yorkshire Pudding. Ian Davis, Very Soft Penalty. Nathan Hall with the Blue Wall. Ian Davis again, Pint with GB. Charlie Clark, Couldn't Bloody Sleep. Paul Milner, Signhurst Permanently. Craig Chapman, Signhurst Up. Neil Patterson, Complete the Job. Paul Wadey, Promotion on Saturday. Mike Woods, McKenna is Magic. Here and There, Everywhere, Massimo. Adam C, Spare Ticket Saturday. I don't think there's a lot going, Adam. McKenna Looked Emotional. Kiefer Sport, We Keep Going. Harry Ipswich, Best Ever Away. Sharon, Portman Road Party. Mike Davey, What Penalty Miss. Maxi Lopez, Must Signhurst. Tom James, I Can't Spake. Kevin Francis, One to Go. Stephen Parry, We're Almost There. Jay Henderson, Rasta Shithouse. I think that's Greg Lee. Amy Fieldhouse Downs. She was there last night. I didn't see her. We are back. Different fucking class. Goodbye, League One. Hero, Kieran McKenna. Steve, bursting with pride. Matthew Whitson, one more win. Joe Foster, this is it. Rab, finished the job. Heidi Oldfield, Barnsley, we're ready. Russ Robinson, next stop championship. Coley, promotion party incoming. Daryl Otto, promotion party. Anyone? Daryl Otto, my poor liver. Adam C, Ando's fish lips. Not sure what that is, Lee. You'll have to let me know. Mark Rattle, oh my ticker. Blake, what the fuck? Blue Flyer, best night ever. Billy Baxter, super. Kieran McKenna. T-shirts available if anyone wants one. Daniel O'Reilly, nearly fucking there. Simon Bowen, still no words. Christine Smith, moving on up. Simply the best. Amongst the best. We are family. Dominic Dean, so close now. Dino, game changer. Ashton McKenna. Brett Johnson at Portman Road Saturday. I've heard that today. Emerson Fairweather, bursting with pride. 2 more pints. What a night. When Saturday comes, we're going up. Rob Pooley, 3 more points. Andrew Peck, promotion party Saturday. Ross Southgate, Hurst smashes Anderson. Samantha, can't contain excitement. Black Sheep Lad, power, passion, pride. Phil Kerridge, 1 more win. Rob Bridgerman, told you so. Kevin Stevens, when Saturday comes, Super Kieran McKenna, finish the job. Love this club. Party weekend incoming. Fleetwood piss up. Dean Mitchell, what a high. Wazza. Biggest since 2000. Ben Jackson, we're going up. The Peach, lost my voice. Hearts, silenced, squeaky bum. Rax Max, bring on Saturday. Rax Max, who's laughing now? Rax Max, Norwich, shitting themselves. Julian Hughes, 3 more points. Ashley Anton, I'm still dreaming. Andrew Plum, what a night. Nick Castaldo, championship, we return. Jason, absolutely bloody beautiful. Lee Bayliss, McKenna is king. Jack, pretty bloody good. Sharon Turner, incredible, resilient team. Annie Mack, night to remember. Joseph Sutton, absolutely fucking brilliant. Anthony Miles, we got this. The buzz well. Bring on Exeter. Roll on Saturday. Who's next? Laugh out loud. Yes, we did. Love the lads. Jenny, wedding on Saturday. Oh dear. Curtis Yates, Tykes put down. JM, Andy 7. Cock.
This is your own life. You ain't going to that.
Rob Duckett, 1 more win. Craig, we are unstoppable. Daniel Bradish, Norwich, we're coming. Paul, biggest night ever. Smithy up the town. Andrew Smith, all loads there. Rob Holmes, Wolfie, Norwood, Wolfie's pocket. Chaplin, golden boot. Fire up dashboard. Amazing travelling support. 1 trick pony, 100-point finish. I've got loads more, Gov, but my voice is going. So
good. Not good. I mean,
how about one? Thank you, Frank Yallop.
Yes.
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 Yes. Your mate's over, isn't he, on Saturday?
Who?
BJ.
Yeah, Brett's over. I think all the game changer will be at the game. Do you think?
I would have thought so.
Ed will be there. Do you reckon Ed will be there, Ben?
Damn right he'll be there. I think he'll come out on the end of the. Once you get to see what court case out of the way.
Well, isn't it? He's got a court case
doing the serenade. Be great.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to be there. Who isn't? Jesus Christ! This is the biggest home game in 20 years,
if not longer. Not longer.
Biggest home game since Bolton in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
it's still the greatest game of football I've ever watched in my life, ever.
We don't want one of them Saturday, Ben. We just want a nice, comfortable.
This is like I've always been a person that prefers Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. It's the anticipation of what's to come. Whatever happens on Saturday, I'm enjoying these moments where I'm just looking forward to it. Tomorrow and Friday will be great days at work. Saturday morning, I'll wake up early, just sink it in because it doesn't come around often.
To the 258 people watching, if we all get ourselves around to Leiston in June, Dominic Dean's buying the drinks. So he says drinks are on me if anyone is in Leiston in June. Right there, chat. All round to Dom's in June for more celebrations. Right, we're back on Friday, 8:30 for the final build-up. Then we're live on Saturday at the statue. Obviously, if you're not there at the game and you want to tune into the post-game show, do bear with us because I'm not going to leave early to set up the gear like I normally do on Saturday. So it'll be when I eventually leave.
Yeah, you've got to soak it all in, Gov, because like you say, Ben, it don't happen every week. This will only be the third promotion I've ever seen. And I don't think we've ever been promoted at Portman Road, Gov. I've never seen us, because obviously 92 was Oxford, 2000 was at Wembley.
Yeah, how many in life and how many things in life do you see? How many sunrises have you got left? How many times do you see the sun sink in the sky do you have left? How many of your favourite song, how many times do you really listen to it? These really beautiful things happen so seldom in life, and this is one of them. This might happen another 2, 3, 4 times as long as you're all alive, and this is one of them. And I really realise it, and life is really short. So just because life is so short, fucking drink it in, because it tastes good.
Absolutely. And in answer to the earlier poll, are you in favour of pitch invasions? 64% of the chat said they were in favour of pitch invasions. So, Max, I hope that answers the question you wanted to put to the chat.
Right. Amazon to get some pyro for the bus. 4 for 24 quid. Come on.
Cruncher, Milk Tray Man, Gov, Talking Town. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. 250 people watching live right now. Hit the like button. That really help us out. But until Friday, 8:30, we're looking ahead. We'll discuss how badly we're going to cry on Saturday.
Oh,
I'm going to. No.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just